It's been almost a year since most of us have cruised, and you want to have the best time possible on your next cruise, so we put together all of our biggest cruise hacks just for 2021, so you can have the best time possible. Well, ahoy there, cruisers!
We're Ben and David. Before we begin these cruise hacks, make sure you click the subscribe button. It's completely free to subscribe, and it really helps us out.
So let's go do hack number 1. Oh, so we've just boarded our cruise and we're all feeling very giddy. One of the first things we do is go to the main dining room to check our table that we've been assigned. You can usually do this by checking your cruise card. It usually gives the name of the restaurant and the table number. So we're eating in the Le Creuset restaurant at table 701. So we head to the main dining room, take a look at our table 701. It's usually on the table, just to check that it's okay. Is it a table for 2 like we requested? Is it next to a window, or is it in a busy location by the trolleys where it's going to be noisy and hectic? All you need to do is go find the maitre d' of the main dining room. You'll usually find she or he in the main dining room after the time of boarding, and you can just request a move table, and if they can move you, they will do. Especially during these times where ships' capacities are a little bit lower, it should be a little bit easier, but it's definitely one of the best tips that we've had, and we do it every time. It's always great to have an amazing table in the main dining room. Oh, so tip number 2 is all about when you're feeling a little bit woozy on a cruise ship. Yes, seasickness. First of all, there's a few natural remedies. Green foods, so things like apples and ginger. Also made a picture up there. Feeling very teacher-like today. Get rid of those for now. But you can also try medication as well. So things like Dramamine and Bonine, but they can make you feel a little bit woozy. So they might not be the best things during the day. You can also get bands for your arms and stickers with medication in behind your neck as well. They really work as well. But before getting on the cruise, there's a few different things you can do to stop seasickness from being too bad. Do you love our beautiful picture of our gorgeous ship there? Well, we recommend booking a cabin in the center of the ship, because here there's going to be less movement, and the further down you are as well, the better, because there's going to be less momentum and roll from the ship. And whilst we're here, we'll give you a little bit of a lingo that you might hear on cruise ships, but you might not be familiar with. Well, the front of the ship is called the forward of the ship, the center of the ship is called the midship, and the back of the ship is called the aft. You might hear crew directing you to these different areas and be thinking, the aft, what are they talking about? And then we've got a picture from above as well from a cruise ship. The right hand side of the ship is called starboard, and the left hand side of the ship is called port. It's easy to remember because left and port have the same amount of letters in them. So that's a good tip to stop seasickness.
So, booking a cruise. I'm just doing some cruise window shopping here. Most cruises, when they first return, are more expensive than we saw in 2019. But we have seen some great deals, and cruises are a lot cheaper later in the year, and especially into 2022, where we've seen some great bargains. Also, if you are a little worried about what cruise will be like when it first returns, with the temperature checks, the mask wearing and the social distancing, book a cruise in 2022 or even into 2023, when things will get a little bit more back to normal, and hopefully things like masks and social distancing will be a thing of the past. Number 4 is to take some cash with you. Now, while you may be using your card for most things, some shops such as souvenir shops or taxis may not take card and will require cash. You can find ATMs in the port, but sometimes it's difficult to find them. And also the ATMs on the ship are really expensive, so take cash. Also, we recommend taking smaller bills such as $1 bills. This is for tipping in the port, for tipping on the ship as well. So if you get room service, you want to tip usually $1 per plate, and you may be tipping the people that carry your bags in the port. And you don't want to be having to have big bills, so you want to take smaller bills with you. If you're on a ship in the Caribbean, we always recommend tipping in US dollars, and if you're in Europe, we always recommend tipping in euros. But either way, or whatever you tip with, I'm pretty sure that the person will be really grateful. So, tip number 5.
Room service, sir.
Well, thank you, Gaston. It's all about room service. We recommend that you avoid room service, especially on lines that are now charging for it. This includes Norwegian Cruise Line, MSC and Royal Caribbean, just to name a few. Personally, we have found the room service to be not very good actually, and it's easier and usually quicker just to nip up to the buffet, Grab yourself a couple of plates of food and bring it back down to your cabin. There's absolutely no rules against that. Alternatively, why not go to the pizza restaurant, particularly like Sorrento's, for example, on Royal Caribbean? You can actually ask for a full-sized, freshly baked pizza for yourself. Now, you will have to wait for it, sometimes 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but they will do that for you and you can take it back to your room. And best of all, it's completely free, unlike the pizza that gets delivered to your room, which they will charge you for. Some cruise lines, such as Princess Cruises and Holland America, do have free room service, but be careful because there is some upcharges on certain items. Right, time for lunch.
So tip number 6 are some cabin tips. When you get into your cabin, make sure you make use of all of the room. If you didn't know, you can put big things like suitcases underneath your bed. There's plenty of storage there as well. And we recommend bringing some magnets as well. Not these ones, but some strong hook magnets. If you didn't know already, cabin walls and cabins in general are all metal. So you can stick magnets to the wall. They're great for sticking documents to the wall, for hanging bags or shoes and things like that. It just gives you some more storage. We also recommend bringing some wipes as well. So some Dettol wipes or some Lysol wipes if you're in the USA, and give your cabin a good little clean just to make sure it's got no COVID there. Make sure you get all of the knobs. We like a good cleaning of a knob, don't we? So make sure you get all of the knobs and get them nice and clean. We also recommend bringing some hand sanitizer as well, so you can keep sanitizing your hands around the ship, and make sure you bring plenty of replaceable masks. We recommend the disposable ones just because they're so light, so cheap, and if they get wet or sweaty or get makeup on them, you can just chuck them out and get another one. So nice and simple. You also want to bring some air freshener as well, because the toilets on board are quite small and compact, especially if you're in an indoor cabin or ocean view cabin with no access to fresh air. You don't want any of those nasty smells, do you? So tip number 7 is to always arrive in advance. When flying, we always arrive in the port the day before, especially during these COVID times when flights are being cancelled and things are being messed up all of the time. You just want to get there a day early. Even when we're not flying in a port in the UK, we always go down the night before and stay in a hotel just so we can relax and know that we're by the port so nothing can go wrong. No traffic, nothing like that. It's great.
Absolutely, and a bonus is it starts your vacation a day earlier, so it's an extra day. How exciting is that?
An extra day to your vacation, which is awesome. So always arrive the day before. It honestly makes things so much smoother and so much easier. You can go for some nice breakfast in the morning and then leisurely get to the cruise port nice and early, so there'll be no delays.
Tip number 8, you don't just have to eat breakfast and lunch in the buffet. You can actually enjoy it in the main dining room. We prefer this. It's a much more relaxed and civilized experience. You can sit down and your food is cooked to order, and one of the amazing crew will come and serve it to you at your table. Also, during these times of COVID, we expect the lines in the buffet to be much longer, as crew are now serving and plating up the food rather than passengers helping themselves. So it means there are going to be longer lines, which means that the food is probably going to be colder. It's going to be a lot more chaotic. We think it's just much nicer in the main dining room. The food's nicer and it feels fresher.
So our next tip is all about cruise insurance, and this is a really important one during coronavirus times. There's just a few different things you need to do when you're buying cruise insurance. We usually do it here on our computer. First one is to make sure that it covers cruise. This might be an obvious one, but lots of insurance companies don't even cover cruise or have an extra premium on top. The next one is to make sure it covers all of the different destinations you're going to be visiting. So it might be you're visiting 2 places in Europe, but then go out of Europe, so you need worldwide cover. It's really important to make sure your insurance covers all of the different places you're going to be going to. Next one is to make sure you have enhanced COVID-19 insurance that covers things like cancellations on your cruise. This is really important because you don't want to be left out of pocket if something does go wrong and your cruise is cancelled, or you need to buy an extra flight or something like this. And next, make sure you've got cover for emergency evacuations and, most importantly, medical cover for COVID-19 as well. Lots of cruise lines now are even requiring evidence when you check in to show that you have all of this correct cruise insurance. But if in doubt, just ask the cruise line what they will require when you log in. But it's a really important one. Make sure you get that cruise insurance just in case, in the unlikely event something goes wrong, you'll be covered. And finally, tip number 10 is to have patience and just really enjoy it all. There's going to be extra checks in port, there's going to be changes on your cruise, But just most of all, just be thankful that you're going to be on a cruise. It's been so long since we've all cruised, and it's going to be fantastic. You're going to have that fresh sea air through your hair, if you've got hair.
Thanks.
And you're going to have such a fantastic time. Just take things easy. Don't worry about getting everything done on the first day. Take your time, take in as much as you can, and just enjoy the cruise.
Absolutely. After the year that we've had, we want to look at things with a glass half full and be flexible, because we know that things will eventually get back to normal, but they're not quite at the moment. So we're just thankful that we can cruise and travel.
Yeah, just take all of the changes into your stride. We've hopefully prepared you for most of that on our channel as well, so you'll know exactly what to expect. But just enjoy it. Enjoy that amazing fresh air. All of the passengers on board are going to be super excited to be on board. The crew are going to be really enthusiastic as well, and so excited to be back as well.
We're going to be excited.
The atmosphere on board is going to be amazing, so just enjoy it, enjoy every moment, and I think everybody will do, because it's been so long and everybody's been stuck at home, not going on vacation or holiday. So I think everybody's just going to have such a good time when cruising is back. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Please do hit that subscribe button. We've got 8 cruises coming up this summer, so you've got plenty to tune in for. And thank you so much to all of our patrons as well. You guys are amazing in supporting us. We bring you Zoom live shows, we bring you extra footage and extra episodes, as well as postcards from all of our cruises. And our captains of the week are Tristan and Justin. So ahoy,
Ahoy.
there, Tristan and Justin. That's it till next time.
Happy cruising.